ladies, and welcome back to day 2 of the 12 days of Christmas. I hope you enjoyed yesterday. I hope you made it all the way around to myself and Heather's channel as well as Missy's. Make sure you leave your comments and subscribe to our channel so that you'll be entered to win the giveaways that we have going on for the 12 days of Christmas. So today our true love gave to us stamps. So this is another thing that kind of stretched me out of my comfort zone. I own a lot of stamps, but I don't do a lot of stamping. So I decided to play around and do some backgrounds. So I hope you are inspired to try some things that maybe are not your normal and will stretch out and join us over these next 12 days. Our guest artist today is Tiffany, and she is a phenomenal stamper. So if you really want to learn more and you are a stamper, you're going to love her project. So be sure to check her out. I'll have all of those links down below. I'll also have links to any products that I use if you want to check those out. And links to Heather's channel if you don't know Heather yet. So I hope you have a great day today and enjoy the 3 videos that we have for you today. And let's just get into today's layout. Today is all about stamping. So this is something else, again, that I don't do a lot of. I own quite a few stamps, but I just don't stamp a lot on my layouts. So I decided to stretch myself out again today. So I hope you are getting inspiration from all of us each day and that you'll try some new things as well. So I decided to try to create my own background paper. And I'm starting with just this small strip. I'm not going to be so ambitious to do a large piece, but just a border strip here for my background. And I took this poinsettia stamp, I stamped it with Versamark, and then I have this kind of silver glittery embossing powder. So I thought that would be really pretty so that it would sparkle up the page. You can never have too much sparkle. But also it creates kind of a well to keep your paint inside of. So I decided to do some watercolors again today, and this time I'm using just the little palette of watercolors. And these are not vibrant colors at all. They're going to be pretty transparent. And I started out with kind of the bricky red because you'll notice to the left here, this is the collection I'm going to be using. This is My Mind's Eye Comfort and Joy. And it's not a true red. So I felt like that's probably what I needed to use. But again, these watercolors are not vibrant, and it just turned out burgundy color, which I was really not happy with at all. So I end up transitioning over to just the bright red watercolors, and that is much better. But it'll take me a little bit. I kind of cut and splice into this because this was not the focus of today's video, the watercolor. So here's where I've switched over to just the red. And I go over it several different times. I have it watered down, I'm going through it, and then I'm just going back and putting some more towards the center and letting it fade out on the ends. And I did that to all of them. I built it up probably 3 different times. And this is just regular patterned paper. It's a heavier patterned paper, but again, it's just patterned paper. So you have to be careful if you're watercoloring on those because it can only handle so much water at a time. So that's why I kind of built up over several different times so that I could let it dry and then go back and put a little bit more color in. And I just used less and less water each time. So you'll notice I had a different mat underneath there the second time. So I got glitter all over the first one, and it's the one from close to my heart that I love because it doesn't slide around. But there was so much mess on it, I took it off and I put my little Ranger one that slides all over the place. So when I got done with the messy stuff, I got rid of it because it just frustrates me to no end. So I have it all painted in now, and I decided to distress the edges with some ink. But partway through I decided it was just a little bit too wide. I wanted it more narrow. So I actually took a little bit off of it, and then I'm going to put it up towards the top of the page. And originally I was going to put all of the white snowflakes on this background paper towards the bottom. But then I decided I liked it much better where everything was up at the top, much heavier at the top. Like I said, this collection is Comfort and Joy. It's last year's Christmas collection from My Mind's Eye, and I love it. I love that background, that wood grain with all of those snowflakes. It's just gorgeous. So I really wanted most of it still showing. This layout, again, is going to be fairly simple. I'm not going to use a lot of product on it. I have several different stickers that I'm going to put on. That's going to be all the embellishments that I do. So the work, again, was in the watercoloring, just like yesterday. So I kind of went back and forth on the different papers of what I wanted to use. This photo, again, like yesterday, is not that great of a photo. The lighting was horrible. It's a cell phone. We were at our church's Christmas program, and they have these beautiful poinsettia wreaths on the walls that were just gorgeous. My family was home, and I just wanted to get a picture of all of us. This is about the only time I get a family photo, is this or maybe Mother's Day at church. So I had twisted my son's arm and told him that he had to get in the photo this time, and this is one of the outtakes, kind of. My daughter and I were just laughing and having a good old time. You can tell the guys are serious and they're trying to pose and get it over with, and me and my daughter are just having too much fun. But I decided I wanted to actually scrapbook this one. It just shows the playfulness that our family has when we all get together. So it's going to get a page all by itself. I decided for the border strips up at the top that I was going to use my washi instead of getting more patterned paper, because I just couldn't quite decide. None of the pattern paper that I had from this collection looked right. So this washi tape is actually from Photoplay. No, it's from Paper House Productions. Sorry. Yeah, it's from Paper House. And so I have a lot of that collection from them. And I love the red. The photo has those bright red poinsettias in it, but yet my watercolor poinsettias, they're lighter because those watercolors are just not highly pigmented. So I felt like I really needed to get more of the red into the background around those poinsettias. So that's why I went ahead and chose those. And I knew when I started that little sticker that I have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, I knew that was the one that I wanted to use pretty much for the title, subtitle, whatever, and I wanted it up next to the photo. So that's where I'm going with everything else. Here is where I decided I missed some painting on the right-hand side because my embossing, it had kind of rubbed off or something. I don't guess I heated it up enough. So I decided to go in and kind of freehand some leaves, and of course the color didn't match what I had done before. And so I just played around, and it's probably not the best, but in the end, it's enough that it fixed what I was having problems with up there of, you know, not having the colors that I wanted without being too obviously, you know, different. But I had to take a break and do that. Here I have this wood grain sticker that says Home for the Holidays, and I wanted to use it so that I could bring the wood grain into the decorations. Also because that's exactly what this was. My kids had come home for the holidays, and I wanted to put that in as part of the title as well. I'm going to keep the photo up to the top right, I guess. Yeah. And just do minimal embellishing. So like I said, I have the sticker sheet here, and that's pretty much all I'm going to use. I decided I wanted to do something down here on the bottom left, and I just wanted a little bit. Normally I probably would have put it at the bottom, just some strips or whatever, but for whatever reason I decided the left was good. Kind of created a better triangle, I think, that direction, but I don't think I was thinking that when I did it. That's just where it ended up. So I loved the little word label that had that plaid because it just brought all of the reds and the soft greens down to the bottom. But I needed something behind it, and there was this long label which was much too long, so I just cut the ends off of it and tucked it up underneath there so that I would have it. And I'm still playing with that Home for the Holidays, trying to decide where I want it. And I decided pulling it more to the right was better. It helped to balance out everything else that I was doing up there. And since I had put the photo up on foam, I needed to put some foam up underneath the sticker. So I'm just taking some strips there and putting up behind. And then I wanted just something else up there. And so I had this wreath sticker. I'm going to put part of it up underneath that cluster, and then I'm going to put the rest of it down here behind that cluster. And that just kind of helps finish off both of those. And I still wanted something over here. I felt like it was just too bare. And I loved these mittens. And I tried to get them on here. I tried moving them several different places, but they just didn't work with what I already had going on. So I end up taking those off, going with something else. I found that oval sticker, which I kind of liked, behind there, but again, the mittens weren't going with it. So then I move on. I have this round one that says Joy, and I knew I needed something else down there at the bottom. And then I found these packages, and so that worked out perfect to kind of finish out that cluster. And so I was pretty happy. That's pretty much all of the embellishments. Well, no, I go back for the tree. There's a tree here, and I decided to finish that out on the right-hand side. But at that point, I felt like that was all I needed to add to it, but it was not finished. It needed something else. So while I finish adhering and putting the pop dots underneath that, I'm trying to think what I can do. Normally I go for like enamel dots or something like that, but I didn't really think enamel dots were going to look good. Thought they were going to be too chunky, just kind of take away. And then I decide I have this Wink Stella pen, and it's been a long time since I've used them. When they first came out, I used them all the time. So I decide to go over the poinsettias, and that will add some sparkle and really draw your eye up there. It also made them a little bit darker, so I tried to keep it towards the center, and you can already tell that it helps so much just to darken that up. And then I decided, well, why not just glitter the whole page? So I put it over all of the snowflakes just to bring it out. And then I remembered I had these little stickers. I think they're called Dazzlers, but they're cheap, inexpensive. You get a ton of them, but they are so gorgeous. So I decided to put those all over the page. I put them up the centers of the poinsettias. I also have these in red, so I decided to put some of the red. I put one red and then two of the small silver ones in the center of all of the poinsettias to just really bring that pop of true red up there. And then I added just a few of the small ones on the little tree so that it looked like little Christmas bulbs, and the wreath and the snowflake off to the left. And when I had done that, I knew we were good. It was finished. So again, I tried something new, and I love the way it turned out. So I hope you enjoyed this layout. Be sure to check out the links down below. Go visit Heather and our guest artist this week, Tiffany. You're going to love her work, and I think she's probably going to be new to a lot of people that are from my channel. So I hope you enjoy meeting her. And be sure to subscribe if you're not a subscriber to our channels, and give us a thumbs up, and come back tomorrow for another 12 Days of Christmas. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.